Yeah, so let me go for this. Yeah, so like I've said, I think the person is trying to join the game.
They have admitted.
Okay. Yeah, so I've already talked about all these things. Let's go to where we were. Yeah, so information section. So try to join uh, many information as you can, depending on your field. When you see any university publishing anything that is in your field, try to join to ask questions about the requirements, about funding opportunities, scholarships, deadlines. Ask questions, then you get your questions answered. Then, like I said, even by joining alone, you can waive about getting to $100 of application fee, which you don't need to pay. $100 in Ghana is like 1,500. So just by joining for a couple of minutes, they will give you a code that you can use to apply to the university for free. You understand? So just there are things that they are very, very important stuff. And I want us to take notice of that and do that. SOP reviews. All the documents that you have, your SOPs, your CV, your transcript, certificates, and any other document, English proficiency letters, get someone to look at them and assess them for you. Assess them for you, especially your SOPs. Assess them for you. There was one first class guy who has been at home. He has applied to university since 2 years ago. He's not getting admission. And just this, that was the past 2024. He was able to get in contact with me, and we applied to 3 universities. We got all of them, and he was asking me that how I'm able to do that, and I said that you need to prepare yourself. It is something that I've been doing. So once I've been doing it for long. So if I sometimes let some students do their own application, investor application, then I'll let them send me the logins, then I'll look at it. When I look at it, then when I just open the application and I see most of the things that are wrong with the application, I just correct them because the consistency, when you do something for a very long time, you're able to learn the in and out of it, and we are able to help people with it. So get people to review your applications, your documents, especially your SOP, your transcript, and your CV before you make an application. The CV, there are some things, like I said, that you are supposed to take them out. There are some things that you're supposed to put them on. Some people don't put them on. Some people, maybe you don't have a published paper, but you have joined your professor or your lecturer to do some work. He has published it. You can add that to your CV to show your research experience. It's a research experience that you have. So, and a couple of things, a lot of things that you need to adjust in your CV. Transcript. I am able to assess transcript, or we are able to assess transcript and look at the programs that you are deemed fit to apply. You get people who have done the accounting and they want to switch to medical field and they want to get scholarship. It's not possible. If you want to go to that direction, switching from business to medical field, you need to then you must be ready to go in for tuition, that you're going to do self sponsorship. So those are some of the things that is very important for you to get people to review and to give you advice and recommend things for you. Deadlines as well. I know most of the deadlines that most of the deadlines for most of the schools, because that is, like I said, those are some of the jobs that we are doing, and that's our field. That's what we do. So deadlines, we are able to know that this is the deadline for this, is the deadline for this. And so we can also guide you and help you to do course selection, university selection, country selection. We can help you to do that, which country that you want, depending on what is your capacity to pursue the program. Yeah, so I think virtually I've talked a lot about that. And if you have questions for the brief for the presentation I've done, I'll give you some few minutes to ask that question. And then I will now go on to our main section for today. I'm going to show you the application to the Luxembourg application system step by step. In the next few minutes should be done. But before then, if you have any question regarding what I've presented so far, you are free to you only have some few minutes. Then we can do the application for the University of Luxembourg. Then we shut down.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Uh, concerning America's home. They are the America. They are saying until they release the I-20 for you, you have to provide your bank statements. You have to pay another tuition fee for it. So you
Uh,
have to pay tuition fee and a bank statement. Yeah.
okay. Yeah, can you come again, please? I've seen a couple of messages in the chat that I was trying to make it. I've seen a lot of people sending messages in the chat, and I wanted to see if there are questions, but I think there are no questions.
Okay,
How
okay.
do you help write an SOP to? Oh, I can see someone. Okay, so Joseph, if you want an SOP, you can send us an email. We'll try to help you out. Okay, it's not a problem at all. So you can see here. You can see. Let me close this. So you can see this. This is my personal email, and if you send this one, it goes to the information section. So you can send me an email and just ask that maybe you need assistance for SOP. Or you can go to our website, wobucollege.com. When you go there, there are sections. When you go to a section for submit documents or request a service, you can select which one ever you want. Then you just go ahead. Yeah, so Lawrence, please ask your question so that we can move on to the application system.
Okay. My
You're asking
question.
about bank statement.
Yeah, and tuition fee. They say you have to pay another. You have to pay tuition fee, book accommodation.
Uh, I don't really get your question very well.
Uh-huh.
Are you asking whether you need to pay tuition fee or something like that?
No. They are saying you should pay tuition fee and your bank statement before they will release your I-20 for you.
Which country is that?
America.
No, no. I don't think in America they don't do that. America, what they do in the US, what they do is that I am yet to see a school in America that needs you to pay for tuition before they issue I-20. In America, what happens is that even when you're coming for sponsorship, what happens is that when you get admission, about 99% of schools in America, admissions don't automatically come with scholarship. Yes,
Oh, okay.
they'll issue the admission, then later on, you have to apply for funding or scholarship. It's only undergraduate schools. I know a few of them, like Anna Maria College and Michigan Tech, that do that, and as well as South Dakota State. This year, South Dakota State, I got admission for 3 people for bachelor's. They all got scholarship. So
Oh,
I can attest to that. So it's only a few schools in the US that will give admission automatically with scholarship. But most
okay.
of the schools, especially for postgraduate programs, master's, PhD, they'll give you the admission, then they'll state the cost of attendance. So you have to now apply to the department that you are going to study for scholarship or funding opportunities. And most of the times, especially for PhDs, you will get something. I always tell people with PhD, even if you get pastoral scholarship, what is important is that you enter America. Once you enter America, it's not only even the PhD, including the masters. If you enter America, you get full scholarship.
Oh,
Almost, it's like 99% of people. I know people who came from Germany this year, that was February last year, to the US here with Italy without scholarship, but now they are off on full scholarship. There are so many reasons that attest to that causes those things. And because of that time, I don't want to go to that side. So with the what you are asking for, if you get admission right now, so what the schools will do to give you the I-20 is that they want you to show them that you can take care of yourself before they give you the I-20. So they want you to give a bank statement that cover your cost of attendance. Usually, the admission letter will mostly state the amount of tuition and books and research that you need to pay for the amount. So you need, and they'll state the total. So you need something a little above what is the total of that amount that you have on those your admission letter. Most schools too, they don't state it there. For example, South Dakota, Eastern Michigan, University of Southern University, Edwardsville. They don't state that. You have to go to their website and a couple of schools. What's the name of this school? What's the Northern Illinois? They don't also do that. Eastern Illinois, they don't do that. There are a lot of the schools. in Mississippi State, they don't do that. So they will give you the admission. You can go to their website and check their cost of attendance. But for me, for example, with my experience, someone gets admitted, sometimes some people do their admissions themselves. Even if they don't state there, I can give you an amount that you can get in the bank statement. It should be enough because some of the things are state by state. So I am in Louisiana State. We have people from Mississippi. We have others from Michigan, others from Illinois. Each state and their cost of living. So that is what makes it vary. But usually with postgraduate programs with like 40 to 50,000 USD in the account, equivalent in Ghana city, it should be enough. With bachelor's program with between 20,000 to 25 and 30,000 USD equivalent in Ghana city, it's enough across all boards. I had some scholarship for people that was last Friday for undergraduate programs one is nursing and surgical technology. That school, their funding is their tuition is cheap, and we managed to beat down the cost. So those I got the I-20s last 2 days, and they're supposed to pay only 4,000 for the whole year, and they can even split it in two. So they needed to prove only like 6,000 or $8,000 in their account, and it's enough. So it varies state by state and the program that you are doing and the university. And like I said, for me that I've been doing it for some time, once you give me the investment, I can give you the amount that you can put in the account is enough. It shouldn't always be in USD. An equivalent in Ghana cedi is enough. So for the bachelors with like 500,000, between 400,000 Ghana cedi to 500,000 Ghana cedi in the account is enough. If you get more, it's good. But between 400,000 to 500,000, it's okay. Ghana cedis in the account is enough. You don't need to pay. US don't do that. It's Canada that something most of the time you need to make tuition fee deposit. US don't do that. Finland, Luxembourg. When I was going to Finland, I had a tuition fee deficit that Ghana government was taking care of. We didn't pay it. If you have the money and you pay, it's good, but it's not a requirement to pay for it. So in the European Union, it's like that. Germany, some schools, you have to make the deposit, and usually between 200 to like 800 euros, then they'll give you the documents to apply for the visa. Canada, like I said, they do that. They do tuition fee deposit. And most of the times, you are able to get a refund upon the reason that maybe you're unable to get visa. That's for the Canada. I have actually processed one for someone that he couldn't get a visa. So I wrote a refund and the person was refunded. So that is that for that. But US don't do that. US don't do tuition fee deposit. Just prove yourself that you can take care of yourself, and the school will give you the I-20. If you have any school that they are demanding for tuition fee, let me know. I will know how to handle it. I'll call them on phone. They don't do that. All right. Any other question?
Yeah, Raymond, I think I also have a question on.
Okay. Okay. I know that you have a question, but will you want to ask now, or let's do the
Well, I
admission?
want to I want to ask now so that it will also add up to the question that my brother asked.
Okay. Okay. Please go ahead.
Okay, so I also applied for South Dakota and I got admission I think last month, but with
Okay.
no funding as you said.
Okay.
And the cost of attendance is around I think $33,000.
Okay.
So I am confused that just as you said, I can use someone's bank statement, but what if I get there and I'm not being able to pay for the fees? Would they deport me or how I'm very confused now. And also
Okay.
Valparaiso University too, I've gotten admission with no funding. So that
Okay.
between the two schools, I'm very confused. And the cost of attendance also ranges around the same value.
Okay.
Eh, So I am very confused now whether to just stop whatever that I'm doing now or I should just get because I actually have an uncle who can do the bank statement for me.
Mm.
But with the implications. I'm very confused whether Trump will.
Yeah. Okay. Let me go by it this way. Like I said earlier on, I think it's a postgraduate program, right? It's a
Yes,
postgraduate
for
program.
yes for masters.
Yes.
The South Dakota was econs and Valparaiso was health administration. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll give you a general answer for the benefit of everybody. But You can contact me after the meeting and we can have a chat and I'll guide you more.
Okay.
But for the general perspective, don't ignore admissions when they are given because you don't have funding.
Wow.
Like I said, never do that. Like I said before, most admissions in the US don't come with funding. You have to fight for it. The reason is that, like Lawrence asked the question, like I said, I didn't want to go there because that one alone is a lot of time. We need time to talk about it. The reason, but let me just give you a brief. The reason is that most schools have the funding available, but it's because of we international students, our attitude. That's why some of those things happen. I don't know whether I've explained this to Mr. Lebanon before. It's because of our attitude. The reason is that, let's take your department, for example, economics department. Maybe they have, every year, they have 5 funding opportunities available for international students. They will pick students for the previous year, maybe the 5 of them. They expect that if they are unable to come to the state, or some of them they apply to 2, 3 schools, then they may get 3 of them. They will decide only to go to 1. They expect that if you are not able to come, report to the school that I have gotten admission to this department, but I have gotten an opportunity or something, this and this and this has happened, and I don't think I can take this opportunity. I'm rather going for this opportunity. So that the universities or the departments will have that data, so that they'll know that we admitted 5 people for the scholarships, but only 2 people are coming. Only 1 person is coming. So we still have 4 funding opportunities left. But international students will never do that. One, they will get like 3 opportunities. Most of them, sometimes 1 is fully funded, 2 are maybe 2 are fully funded, 1 is partial. He will go for 1 of the fully funded. He will leave the partially funded one, and the other funded one, he will never tell them. If you do that, you have blocked 2 people's chances. It means that the university have to wait for 1 full year to see if you don't come before they will now reconsider another person for that scholarship.
Wow.
I don't know if you understand what I mean. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, it really
Yeah,
makes sense.
that is what happens. So they will have to wait for 1 full year. So if another person gets an admission, they will tell them that they've already given their scholarship already been given to other people and there's no scholarship available. Meanwhile, that person is not coming, but they don't know. You understand? So it is something that is one aspect of it. So you don't neglect admission because they are not funding. You have to push for it. I have had people who have come to here in the US, but they didn't have anything. They had to send emails to several people. And now the last time I went for a conference and some of the professors say, hey, you, I know you. You sent me an email. Then he was not telling me because almost everyone in the department know him. He has sent emails to everybody. So market yourself. Let them know once you have gotten admission, the funding may not necessarily be only your department. It is in different departments. So it's not only your department. So just make sure that you market yourself in the university very well so that anywhere there's an opportunity, they'll put you there. Like I said, do they want to focus on the Luxembourg people? I've seen that they are sending messages, and so many people are also sending emails. I'm going to go to the portal right now and look at for us to look at the Luxembourg. But like I said, like your conversation is a whole thing on its own that you need a specific guidance. There are so many ways. Thank God that you have gotten admissions. You can get fully funded projects for all those admissions, but you have to be patient and you should put in more effort. That's what I can say.
Okay,
So we
thank
can
you so
talk about
much.
it later on.
So I think I'll send you a mail so that we can talk more about it.
Okay. Always welcome to do that. So now let's go to our Luxembourg people. Our Luxembourg people don't say they don't have patience. Let me try to share. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen, please?
Yes, please, I can see.
All right. So let's we are using University of Luxembourg, for example. We have already talked about most of the admission We have already talked about most of the admission documents that you need for
Okay.
for the admission. So we are not going to talk about that. Oh, the screen pause, right?
Yes, please.
I don't know why that happened, but let me go back. Let me stop. Can I see it now?
Yeah, but they are saying the page could
Okay,
not
let me go.
be found.
Okay,
Yeah, the page could not be found.
okay, let me go to this side. So University of Luxembourg. So you just go to Google. I just want you to go step by step, then you know. So University of Luxembourg, you go to the official website. So when we go to the official website, can you see the screen now?
Yes, please.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So when you go to the official website, I'm just using this for example. And like I said, the admissions are open from today, started today. So if you want to apply just after a year, you can go and apply. And then you go to admissions. So when you go to admissions, depending on which program you want to apply for doctoral, you want to apply for bachelor's or master's, you click there. So let's assume that you're applying for bachelor's or master's. So we go to our bachelor's or master's. You can either click apply now or you go to choose a program. If you click apply now, there are so many things you may not know. So I'll recommend that you go to choose a program. When you click there, then you click on bachelor's and master's programs because I think that's where most of us fall. If you are doctoral, like I said in the earlier part, the earlier portion, you choose doctoral. But this is where most of us fall under. So you click on the bachelor's or master's programs. And then there we have the different study programs below. So under the college. So when you click on the study program, this is what pops up. Then this is the particular year that is open. So you can see that they are stating that applications for admissions to the University of Luxembourg study programs for 2025-2026 academic year start on when? 1st February 2025. So like I said, it's open and you can apply right after this meeting. So these are different departments or programs that are available. This is for bachelor's, and I think we have the master's too. So you just make sure you go through the different faculties. Now we have the master's. You see? So the bachelor's is up there, and then we have the master's below. So you just go straight to whatever department that you want to apply to. I know a friend who did something on biology from University of Luxembourg. I wanted to just to use that for example. Or let's go to data science. So let's assume that you want to apply for data science. Then you click on that. Now you see, Luxembourg, like I said earlier on, has one of the cheapest tuition fee. Can you imagine? 400 euros. Very, very cheap. I think last year it was even 200 euros. And now it's 400. Very, very, very cheap. And take notice that when we get to the application section, I'll show you, when you apply, never try part-time. Choose full-time. Because as an international student, you are supposed to be enrolled full-time for residence permit. So choose full-time. And the language of instruction is
Yeah,
English.
so Raymond, the fees we can see there, is it real? Like
Very
400?
real, my friend. Very real. That's the tuition. You can imagine. Very, very real. And that's why it makes it very competitive. That's why before we started this, I told you why I think that Luxembourg is the best, to be honest. Luxembourg is the best. I went to Luxembourg and Latvia at the same time. I went to Luxembourg, Latvia, and France within 1 week. It's a good place, and the economy is good. Like I said, one of the best in the world. You can Google it and you see that one of the best in the world, and the tuition fee is cheap. This per semester, that's the reality. I said last year it was 200. It was increased. Yeah. That's it. We can have other departments which are like 400, 600, but usually very, very cheap. Yeah. So you now go to admissions. So you can look for the program details over here. The overview is here. You can go to programs. The program is there to see more about the career opportunities, the testimonials, the teaching staff. If you want to check all those, if you want to check them, that is if it is necessary for you to check, you check it. But we are considering of admission. So you go to admission section. You see, you can also see the scholarships available. You see, so we have different kind of scholarships also available here that you can also look at. Then the requirement as well. I've already explained the requirements to you. The only requirement that I know that so many people after this will be asking questions about is the language proficiency test. Like I said, if you have graduated within 2 years from Ghana, Nigeria, Cameroon is sometimes dicey because Cameroon is a dual nation state. They speak both French and English. So it will be very, very dicey. But if you have challenges, just let me know. But from Ghana and Nigeria, which are Anglophone countries, you can apply without writing any IELTS if you have graduated within 2 years. You can do that for bachelor's and master's. You can do that. And if you want to still apply, like I said, Duolingo is there now. It has made things easier for people, for international scholars with this kind of English language test problems. You can really write it within, it's easier, cheaper, and fast to get your results, and it's accepted globally. I've personally checked for US and Canada as well, and about 99% of schools are accepting it. So it's worth it, and it's like $65, very cheap. So you can write it if you need it. That is if you have graduated for the past more than 2 years. If you are within 2 years, you don't need it. You can just apply. And then you can look for the admission procedure, but you can read that later. For the sake of our time, let's just go there. Let's see something. I want us to go to the apply section. So this one again, you have to go back. It has brought us back to where we started from. So let's go back to that application. Now, so just now click apply now. Let's go there. Yeah. So when you click on apply now, this is the admission portal that is now open for you. And now you have to select. Know that this one is telling you that welcome to the admission portal for University of Luxembourg. And if you don't have, this is where if you have already created an account, you don't have an account yet. So you click on, this is my first enrollment. This is my first enrollment. So you click on it and it opens. Now, when it opens, you see that this is the winter section. So they've already selected, it's pre-selected. But if you click there, you may have summer, these ones are gone. So don't choose that. So when you open it, because it's already opened, it will just pop you up to the current one. That's the 2025-2026 academic year. And that is what we want. So you said you are allowed for 3 programs, but know that it's not like Finland. Those of you who just ended Finland applications, you realize that you pay for one and you can apply to 6. The Luxembourg is different. The application is cheaper, but once you are allowed to apply to three study programs, but you pay for each of them. So that one lies in you to decide. But if you have good credentials and you have applied, I think that you can apply to one and you'll be good to go, depending on the program, because you have a lot of programs. Now, so you can see, so we have different application portals as well. Once you open this, we have the first and second cycle, which is bachelor's and master's. Then we have the third cycle, which is doctorate. And then we also have short programs, which are certificates and all that. So for the sake of us, let's go for the masters, because I know that most people who are trying to pursue masters, graduate studies abroad, go for masters. Some people even have masters, but they still go for masters. So let's use the masters. A few people go for bachelors and PhD. So let's choose the masters. So make sure you choose the right one. Make sure you choose the right one. And like I said, be sure that you have the right year. Otherwise, you apply and it doesn't go anywhere. So let's go for masters. All right. So once you click masters, it said in most cases, opening this for non-European citizens require residence permit are different from European citizens. So if you are coming from a third national, like from Ghana or a country that is outside the European Union, you have different dates. And like I showed you now, is open for third nationals like people are outside the European Union. So make sure this portal is for European applicant. If you are not, you are not from Europe or any of the European countries, don't select that one. Select this. This is for third country nationals. So you select this third country national. That's where you go to. So you select this, and then they'll tell you, do you have a Luxembourg residence permit? You don't have, so you choose what? No. Once you choose that, they ask you again, you have obtained a graduate or university degree or any qualification equivalent to at least bachelor's degree recognized at 6th level. So this one you have to choose yes. Enrollment date of country national applicants apply to your case. Type of studies, full-time. So you have to choose full-time. So let me check this one again. Have you obtained a graduate or university degree or any qualification equivalent to... So many people are coming in. Lawrence, please monitor the coming in people. They are distracting. Have you obtained a
Okay.
graduate or university degree or any qualification equivalent to at least a bachelor's degree equivalent at level 6 at Luxembourg qualification framework? So you have to use it, like I said. Now you have to choose full-time. So I told you that you have to select full-time. Then you now click continue. Yes. So once you click continue, you see the programs. So here you now have to select your program. So based on faculty. So this is the Faculty of Humanities, Faculty of Social Science, European Masters, Agriculture, Architecture. There are so many. Masters in Psychology and Assessment. So many. So you go to Faculty of Economics, Law, Finance. Then I want us to go to Faculty of Technology and Medicine because that's what we chose. This faculty, this Master of Science, Space Technology, Computer Science, Cyber Security, Defense, Data Science. I think that's what we selected earlier on. So we select that again. Yes. And now it opens. So this is now the application so you see that there are several steps that you need to go to, and you have to make sure that you select the right one because what you choose previously is what brings you to the next one. If you don't choose the right thing, it will take you to a different form. And at the end of the day, all your application will go waste. So make sure you choose the right step by step before you get to the place. So here you have to just verify that it's not a robot that is doing the application. Then it depends on whichever where you find yourself. So we are just for the sake of demonstration, we just use the masters in data science, for example. And you have seen that it is indicating that third country national applicant. And it's also stating that you are full-time student who is applying. Now, like I said, it's very important for you to know that one, you have to choose a third country national because you need residence permit. Otherwise, if you don't choose that and you go and select the European citizen portal, you will not be eligible for residence permit. Then it means that you have to stay in Ghana. Make sure you choose full-time studies because in the European Union, coming for postgraduate studies, one of the requirements is that you must be on full-time before you are granted a particular type of residence permit. So you make sure you choose the full-time studies. Then you can now open. So for the sake of our time, what I've shown you is enough. You have to go to the account. These are personal details. You fill in your name, your telephone number, your address, your credentials, your date of birth, and all that, your addresses, your secondary education. So your high school certificate, when you started, when you graduated, maybe some courses that you have taken. Then you come to the post-secondary, which talks about your university, when you started, when you graduated, maybe some of the courses that you took, and all that. So here, maybe the languages. So if you have language courses are the place that you have to upload them. Like I said, if you graduated within the last 2 years, you don't need it. So you just stick to that. And at the portion, sometimes in some of the applications, the language you have to show, if you choose Ghana, they automatically know that you are English speaking and it moves you ahead. And like I said, if you still want to write Duolingo, there's still time because this Luxembourg application is open till April. So you have 2 months to prepare. So there's enough time to do that, but don't wait till the deadline. Now you come to the financing aspect. The financing aspect, usually they want to ask you either you want to self-finance or you want to apply for the Luxembourg scholarship. All those questions, you answer them under the financial section. Then you go to the terms. You have to agree to some terms that all the information that you have provided to the University of Luxembourg is true and is accurate and is correct, and you are testifying to it, so you agree to those terms. Then make sure you always review your application going back to the start. Check everything. Make sure that your name is correctly spelled, your date of birth is correct, your days that you indicated that you started the university and graduated, your high school is graduated, your index numbers and everything, address, telephone numbers, emails are all correct. Then you can now review and then you submit. So I think that is enough and you can do the applications. But you have to verify. If you don't verify, you cannot start. So you have to verify it. Yes, so now you see, I just decided to do this so that you know. So you now have to put in your private email and then you confirm it. So once you put in your email and you confirm it and you click next, it will take you to the next step. That's you creating an account and you now put in your personal details. At the end of the day, everything goes back to your email. So make sure that you are putting in the right email. Your right email. Otherwise, you finish you do the application, everything, and if the email is wrong, they will send the email and you will not receive it. So make sure you check your email very correctly and accurately. I think that I've seen that it's a lot of process. There's a lot of things to do, and some of you may be confused, but we are always available to assist. So if you are doing it and you are encountering challenges, you can reach out to me by email. Sometimes now this season is application season for US. US is most of them are closing, and we still have a few around. Most of them close today. Today is first. Most of them are closing today. So I have a lot of work on my desk, a lot of applications for US, Canada, Finland closed. That was last 2 weeks ago. So that pressure is gone. So I have a lot of work on my desk, a lot of queue, but we try to help as much as we can. So if you are doing it and you're encountering challenges, we see how best we can try to help. But please be patient. And like I said, the Luxembourg, there's still a bit of time. If you have 2 months, if you have documents that don't have some of them, you can still gather them before the deadline because you have from now until April. So there's still more time to do that. I've seen a couple of messages in the chat and about questions. I'll give you time to answer questions. But like I said, I have a lot of work on my desk. Semester has begun. I'm teaching, and I'm still doing these things. So it's a lot of work, and I'll try to help. Someone said, "Do you have a WhatsApp or a group link where I can join?" Yes, I have a WhatsApp group. I have a WhatsApp group. Send me an email, and we'll send you the WhatsApp group. I have a WhatsApp group. I've seen another hand also. So I think that the application is clear, and the steps I've shown are the basic things that you need to know, and it's quite straightforward, but it's a bit complicated a bit, but you can still do it. So if you have a question, please, you can unmute yourself and ask your question. I've seen someone sending me a WhatsApp message like, can I go over the process again? Let's take the questions first. Before we close, I'll try to go over just one more time.
Wait,
Yes, but if you have a question, please, you can unmute yourself and ask.
wait,
I can hear someone talking, but it's like the voice is low.
Ray,
Yes, sir.
please, are you allowed to work while schooling?
Yes, in Luxembourg, yes, you are allowed to work.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, Ray. So I also have a simple question.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
So I heard that some people, we the black people, someone actually can get an admission. The
Mhm.
person will get there. The person wouldn't go to the school. So what are some of the consequences?
You know, it's a very good question. You know,
Because let me
let,
also
let,
add that I actually have this
Mhm.
colleague who actually helps people with their school application, and he will tell you, oh, what the could do, like once you get there, you can
Right,
choose
right.
whatever that
Let,
you
let
want to
me,
do there.
you see, some of those people doing those things, I don't know how to put it, but I want to be as honest as possible. I don't advise people doing that, to be honest. And obi oye sa no, na se nipa no ebi on two kwanda. Or not Ghana ebia. He's got I have people that they were in Ghana. I'm using myself for example. I have agents in Ghana who just contact me. Some of them last 2 years ago and last year it happened. So now I'm very cautious. They will contact me on Facebook. Oh, Ray, menya wo sese me pɛ me wɔ me nuanom bi. This is where they start from. Mo me nuanom bi na me pɛ sɛ oyɛ obo mo na me yɛ admission ma mo. Then I say, okay, you can send me an email with their documents and everything. Then they will send the email and everything. Then I'll do the admission, everything. Scholarship will come. Not knowing that they are agents in Ghana, you know, the agents in Ghana. Then the people will go and they'll charge them huge sum of money. But me, I didn't even know. Then later on, it's when the process of paying the money becomes too huge. And after that, they are supposed to now do the resident permit application and all those things. They are because of what they've done, they can't come back to me. Then they now be trying to find ways to do it. Then they'll not come to me. Me also went on to me and say, "Buon, na sisi na ebetua o kasa sentence." That was how happened. As I'm speaking to you, they delayed some guy, and instead of coming to Finland going to Finland in April, he went to Finland in November. When I spoke to the guy, that was Friday, he was saying that the kind of pressure that is now on him because he went late. Because the time they were able to locate me for me to now guide them through, it was very, very late. And that is even for Finland. Finland has allowance for that. There are some countries you couldn't have even entered. That would have been the end of the opportunity. You understand? I don't advise people to do that because se unya akwenya se wura man bia mu a, I don't know if all of us are Ghanaians, but that's sorry if you are not a Ghanaian. If you have the opportunity to enter any country with studies, I always encourage people to go there. Go to the program. The reason why you went there, if you wanted to do masters, please complete the program. Try your best to complete the program. You can run, but life becomes difficult for you the more if you run. Focus and finish the program, and a lot of opportunities will open. Like I said, may I also use myself for example. Obi on to Kwanda na on your experience in it, but they be on to Ghana or Jumano. They start saying those things. Let me use myself for example. I went to China to study on full scholarship. I didn't run. So because I didn't run and I went to the system, I enjoyed the system. I made money in China, even though I was still a student. After I was doing business, shipping things, people who know me personally know what I'm talking about. After Finland, after China, I went to Finland to study. I studied as I was studying. By the time I went to Finland, by then you were only allowed to work 25 hours a week. But I was studying, and in Finland, once you are studying, even if you work more than the hours, they don't really check. What matters is that fulfill your what do you call it? Your academic obligations. I don't know whether you understand what I mean.
Yeah, we do
Yeah,
understand.
yeah. So make sure that even though you are studying, you can still work. But don't just go and just say, "Oh, yes," because of scanty. Who scanning we additional to baby. Then you just start working and then you leave the school. What happens is that you have a problem. So when I went to Finland, I focused on my studies, graduated. Even though as I was studying, I was working full time. I was only supposed to work like 25 hours, but I was working full time like any other full time worker. But I made sure that I go to my lab, I do my lab works, I submit all my assignment, And if I'm supposed to submit reports, I submit reports. So I'll never have any problem. If you don't have any problem with your school, you don't have any problem with anybody. And you continue working and make your money. So why do you decide to run? It doesn't make
The,
sense. And
the
after I
the
graduated,
most funniest aspect is
mhm,
most people also forget that they are on F1 visa.
that is it. And if you run, that's why I'm saying that, some people do it and it works for them, but it's difficult that way. That's the truth. They will not tell that aspect. If some people do it and work for them, because obey to make journey, if you can run and you go and do work and work and work and work and work, and maybe some people they'll go and get someone to marry and they do documents. That one you can also people do that. But why do you put yourself in so much stress when you can just go through the process and get things cheaper?
That's a move.
You understand? So I went there, studied in Finland, graduated, got the job, and now got a working permit. And now I'm here in the US. I still have residence in Finland. I can go to Finland at any time. What matters is that, and it's not I have a Schengen residence, so I don't even need visa to go to 27 European countries. What is matters, I just buy a ticket. I have my residence permit. So why do you worry yourself? Go through the process and then finish the school. I always tell people, and one thing about European studies is that it's easy to finish. Most of the master's programs are 2 years. If you are serious, you can use 1 year and half year to finish. Then you now focus on your work. You can never graduate in a country and they will tell you to leave the country. Just go through the process. When you get a job, most of these European countries like Luxembourg, once you graduate, you can use your certificate now to apply for a job. When you get a job, you now get qualified to get residence permit. After some number of years, you are qualified for permanent resident. And then you are there. So there's no need to rush. Just go through the process. If if it becomes critical and you need some kind of assistance or guidance, seek for guidance. Seek for guidance and ask for people's views before taking steps so that you don't put yourself in trouble. Okay, I think your question is answered.
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay. Any other question? Please, those of you who have been following me on Facebook, please, when the only thing I can do for me is that some of this thing, we do it for free. The only thing you can do for us is when we put in information, please also share it to others. Also share our post to people so that they also hear. And if you have not followed us, please follow me on Facebook. You get all information that you need. If you also need to contact me, just send me a messenger and I'll try to respond, even though it may delay. But I'll try to respond. The email is faster. If you send me email, it's faster. So if you have questions about the application, just let me know. The Luxembourg application, just let me know. I'll try to go just quickly over again within the next 1 minute then before we shut down. But if you have any question about it, please, you go ahead and ask your question. So you can follow me on Facebook. This is my Facebook page. I also do a lot of evangelical work in secondary schools when I come to Ghana. Maybe my
Okay,
next.
so
my
Ray,
next
with the Luxembourg, is it free application? Because you didn't speak to that.
Yeah, I made mention that I made mention about payment. I don't know if you read it. I think it's 50 euros or so.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, 50 euros. Yeah. Yeah, and it's worth it. And so some of these countries, I was the last 2 weeks, the Finland one that ended. I told people that Finland was free, and now they are charging. Most people will not apply. So those who apply, they are likely to get a full scholarship. So sometimes you have to sacrifice. It's not always that you get things for free. Just sacrifice
Okay.
50 euros.
And Ray, I think for all the information you have provided, it's also worth it. You
Yeah.
have really broadened our horizon concerning this school application. But with the Luxembourg, with the visa to can you just
Okay.
some of us we will apply. Me personally, I'll start tomorrow. So
Okay.
with the visa also, because you can get the admission, and with the
Yeah,
visa,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it will even
Yeah, yeah.
discourage you.
So what happens is that these are all Schengen states. Like I said, for example, let me use Finland for example before I go to Luxembourg. You can work through the VFS, and you can also just Google what do you call it, Luxembourg embassy near you, and to take you to the nearest embassy. But I'm sure
Oh, okay.
mostly to be in Nigeria or something, but I'm sure it's in Nigeria. Like that's why I said in Finland, we went to Nigeria. I didn't go to Nigeria, but almost everybody I met in Finland from Ghana, they went to Nigeria. I did mine from China, so I never had that experience, even
Oh,
though they
okay.
talk about how stressful it is. I did mine from China, so I didn't go to Nigeria. So you go to the embassy. Once you get there, what is important is to get the admission and the scholarship available. And one good thing about the Luxembourg school is that even if you don't get scholarship, 400 euros, it's easy.
Yeah.
You can pay it. You can pay what is important is just, and some of these things, it's not like Canada that you have to make deposit. You don't need to make deposit. When you're applying for the permit, just show that you have money to pay for it when you get there. That's all. And the truth of the matter is that most of these schools, you can even do installment if you don't even have all the 400. It depends on
Okay.
the
So,
plan. If
so
you don't
Ray,
have
do
all the
you have
400,
any colleague studying there?
yeah, I have one guy staying there. He has graduated now. He's working. I think he said he's now in Australia or so. But I have a friend there. He graduated from University of Luxembourg. If you remember, when I was doing the application, I said one of my friends did biological science from there.
Ah, okay. Because
Yeah,
for this uni that you have just introduced
yeah,
as me, I will start the application. So, and I know hopefully I'll get the admission. So I need to get someone who maybe is already there or
yeah.
who has fair idea about it.
Yeah, yeah. So definitely, like I said, if you just do it, if you have challenges, just send me an email so that we'll see how to go about it. I don't think it should be a problem. For now, what you have to do is just follow the application process, finish the application, and submit. By the time the admissions are out, I will do another webinar to talking about the process, the visa process and all that. Just like all the other countries that we do. We do Finland, we'll do the admission section. Then once admissions are about coming, we also do a webinar about the visa process and permit application.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So for now, just focus on admission. Put in a good application, good documents, and then that will be okay. Choose programs that align with what you have done previously. I forgot to talk about that. Don't do computer science and go and be choosing business. Please. So many people are doing that. And they still want scholarship. If you are the person sitting in the admission committee and maybe you have done education, and you have gone to choose data science, and someone has done computer science with mathematics, and you're choosing, who will you admit? So it's that simple. So let's choose programs. Go to the website. That's why I showed a step by step. There are different departments, faculties. Choose your faculty. Go there and look for a program that align with what you have done previously. Sometimes some of one thing I've studied about this abroad is that how our structure of our structure of studies in Ghana is our structure of studies in Ghana is different from how they do it in Europe and what do you call it? America. So, for example, someone will do psychology, but he did minor in something. So, some of the courses, there are so many courses that will be on your transcript. So, when you go and see another program, maybe in educational psychology in Luxembourg or any other country, you have to really read through their prerequisites or their course requirement very well before you make the application. Don't just see any program, then think that, oh, this is what I like, then you choose. Like I said, if you have doubt, please seek guidance. So me, before I even help someone do any application, those of you who have had personal relationship with me, you know what I'm talking about. I always take your transcript to see the courses that you have done, some of the grades that you have gotten. There are so many people who will do maybe education with maybe psychology, but most of his grades the good grades that he had are in psychology. So in such situation, if I'm applying for school for you, I'll choose psychology than education. So those are some of the technicalities that I'm talking about. So look at your transcript, see your field. Some people will do sociology with social work, that kind of thing. So if you do sociology with social work and your sociology courses, you had more grades, good grades than social work, I will not apply for social work for you. That's some of the technicalities. So read through their requirements, look at your transcript and choose a program in line with your field. Some people will apply, and when you send an email to the school asking why they were denying the admission, they will tell you that we see that you are not fit for the program. Your previous studies are not fit for the program. In that situation, you have thrown your money away by not making due diligence. So let's make due diligence. Like I always say, if you need some kind of guidance and recommendations, you can always send us some email and we'll try to help. If any other question, let's just ask. Otherwise, we'll call it a day. I am a bit exhausted and I have a couple of people who have arranged some meetings with for these applications as well. Any other question? Yeah, so if there are no other questions, we are always ready. Like I said, if you want to apply to, if you don't want only Luxembourg, okay, sorry. I've seen that someone has just reminded me about that. I said I was going to, just please follow us on Facebook. Please. Like I said, I was going to show quickly, just one more time, the process of the application, and that'll be it. There we go.
Hello, please can I ask a question?
Yes, madam, you can ask, please.
Please, I just completed a nursing training and my certificate and my other things are not ready yet. So that one, can I apply it?
It depends. Do you have your transcript?
No, please, all is not ready.
When will it be ready? Do you know when it will be ready? Hello, madam. She cannot hear. Maybe she had network problems. Yeah, so such situations are quite dicey.
Please, my network.
Yeah, I realized that. So what I was saying is that if you are able to get a transcript, most European applications will allow you to apply, but before you start your program. So if you are admitted with only your transcript, you can apply. But before the start of the program, you have to get your certificate, which will be maybe in August or September. So that's why I said it depends on the situation. If you have your transcript, you can apply as you state in the application that you are waiting for your certificate, or you graduate by the time that you'll be starting the program, and it's allowed. In most instances, it's allowed that way. But you just have to make sure that by the time the program is starting, you are ready to submit the certificate. Even in the US, it happens. I had people who came here without, it was later on that they received their certificates. Even as at yesterday, one of my friends is working in the graduate school. Ghanaian students, they came, their official transcripts were not ready from KNUST, and then it's now that they are sending them. So yesterday we were talking and he was in the office and he was telling me that KNUST are supposed to send them in a particular way, but they are not doing that. So the graduate school keep rejecting them. And even those ones, the students are already here. So it happens. It's possible that you can apply. The only thing that you have to do is that go to your school that you graduated, ask them for your transcript. If even the official one is not ready, they should be able to get you provisional one. If they get to the provisional one, ask them for attestation. There are always ways to get those things. Depending on the institution, go to them and ask for attestation that you have completed the program and you are waiting for a certificate. And they can equally state when they are anticipating that you will get your certificate. And those two documents should be enough to allow you to apply. Yeah, to allow you to apply. And then, like I said, we have from now till I guess it's a long time. By then you might have gotten your certificate and then you just submit it when it's needed. That's it. I hope it's
I
okay.
also have last question, really.
Okay, sir. Can you let me show the Luxembourg last time? Because I've seen people are asking me for that.
Oh, okay.
They missed it. I'm just showing, but I'll not spend much time like I did before because, like I said, I'm tired. I've been sitting down. It's done. It's now. Oh, people are. It's now that people are coming. Oh, Mr. Mo. Can you see the screen, please?
Please.
Yes,
Yeah,
please,
so
I can see.
yeah, so I'm just sure that I will not spend my time like the first one, please. I'm tired, but so I've seen that people came later and then asking that I should show it again, show it again. Yeah, so yeah, so like I said, you just go to Google, search for University of Luxembourg, and this you can go to the official website. This is the official website, uh, uni.lu Luxembourg. Then you go to admissions. Go to admissions, and we are looking for the programs that you want for admission, either bachelor's or doctoral or master's. So for the sake of this, I used the master's or the bachelor's because that's what most people are going in for. So you just click the bachelor's or the master's, and then you can click here to apply. But to get more information and to know that you are on the right track, you just don't go there. And like I also showed you, the application session is open today, 1st February 2025. It's opened. So just after this, if you want to apply, you can just go and apply. So for you to get more information, just go to choose a study program. Then, like I said, we are going for bachelor's and master's programs. So you choose that, and then it opens up. Now we have the different faculties. So you can go by faculty based on your faculty. If you are in this faculty of science, technology, and medicine, you choose that. If you are going faculty of law and economics, you choose that. Going for faculty of humanities and education, you choose that. So for the sake of this, you can choose any of them. So faculty of education, you go to the masters, and then this is mathematics, and check the language too, please. Check the language. This is English. We have some which are English, French, and Denmark. So check the language too. So this one is in English. So you can see that all these ones are English. So if you want general mathematics, masters in mathematics, you can choose that. We also have mathematics and financial mathematics. They are different things. So choose the one you like. So let's just go with this. So you can just read about the program, the overview, and you see that the tuition fee is very cheap, 400 euros per semester, which is very cheap, very, very cheap. And it starts from August. And it's full-time program, so choose full-time, 2 years. You can, if you are fast, you can finish less than 2 years. Then you can read more about the program, but for the sake of the admission, you can look for the career opportunities available, the testimonials. For the sake of the application, you just click on admissions. And then you have the requirements for the admissions, selection criteria, scholarship available, but you want to apply, so you just go to apply. Now, this is the application portal. We have already, and you have first time. So this is your first time, you want to create an account, so you just click on first time. And like I said, this is the application section. Don't go and change it to winter or this. These are all gone. They have closed. So this is the current one, winter 2025 to 2026. That's the current one that is open today. So they said you are allowed to apply to 3 programs, either master's, bachelor's, or whatever. And I said earlier that for Finland, you pay for one, you apply for 6. But this one, each of them, you have to pay for it. Even though the application fee is cheaper, but you have to pay for them times three times. So, and I think if you have a good application, one is enough. So just, I think 40 or 50 euros is just not anything. So you are applying for masters. If you are applying for PhD, so first and second cycle is bachelor's and masters. Then third cycle is doctorate. So if you're an international exchange student, then you have to choose this. If you are for graduate studies or graduate certificate or certificate program, you go to this. So we are for first and second cycle. So you go to masters. It opens. And here to make sure you don't select this. This is for European applicants. You are not an European. You are a third country national. I'm always angry when I see this third country national. I don't know why they call us third country. So you choose third country national. And do you have Luxembourg resident? You don't have, so you choose no. Have you obtained, yes, do you have obtained a degree, university degree, which is equivalent to Luxembourg? So you choose yes. Then always make sure it's full time. And then continue. When you continue, it takes you back to all the programs available. So you look through and select the exact one that you picked earlier on. So I think we picked masters in mathematics and finance or something. Yeah, finance mathematics. So you select that one. Then you hear now when you select all that, when you go to the right steps, it gives you the overview. Masters in mathematics or mathematics with financial mathematics. Then you are a third country national applicant, then full-time studies. Make sure these things are right because this will determine your eligibility for residence permit application or visa. You need it. If you don't choose this and you choose any other thing like European stuff, you will not be eligible for residence permit application or visa. So just make sure that you do that. And they say note that a valid email address is required for the admission process. So make sure that you use a valid email. Even though you have an email, you may sometimes type it wrongly. So when you are typing, be very careful and make sure that you have the right email because after everything, they will send everything email. So please make sure that you have the right details selected so that you have it here. Now you have to just click this to make sure that it's not a robot. It's very required to move on. Then you can now click start. Yes. So when you click on start, like I said, you put in your email. This is your private email. So you put in, make sure it's correct. Then you can now go to the form. So here is just talking about the account creation, starting with your email address and confirmation with the same email. You put in your personal details, preferred name and all that. Then your addresses. Then your secondary education stuff, that's your high school, post-secondary is your university, prior learning, the languages course if you need it. I've explained to you how this language test works. If you graduated not long ago, within 2 years, you don't need any language test. Just apply. But if you graduated after more than 2 years, then you need language course. I have explained to you how you can solve that problem. You can solve that problem about language course if you want to solve it or you want to still apply because you have time. The application is open for 2 months. I think more than even 2 months because it ends in April. So you still have more time. If you want to do it, register for Duolingo, which is like $60. Write the exam within 1 week, you get your test course and you can use it to apply. Then after you have finished everything with your financing, the financing aspects we were talking about whether you want to go for self-sponsorship or you're applying for scholarship. There are scholarships available, which I showed earlier on. You can apply for the scholarship stating over there that you want to apply for their university scholarship, and they'll consider you for it. And when you get the offer, they'll give it to you. If the good thing about Luxembourg is that, like I showed you, you can see that tuition fee is cheap, 400 euros. And you can even split it into two if you like. So it's very, very cheap. So the good thing is that even if you don't get scholarship for this particular offer, you can still go to the school because the tuition is cheap. It's just like schooling in Ghana, but you have the opportunity to work more and make money for yourself. Then after you accept the terms, and then make sure you review your application. Like I said, first of all, it's very, 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 very important. So make sure you review your application. Please make sure you review it because there are so many things. So that you make corrections about any mistakes that you made. Make sure your names are well spelled. If you have passport numbers input inside, make sure the passport number is correct. Your email address, your postal address, your phone numbers, your educational credentials, your index numbers. Make sure everything is intact. That's why it's important that you review because you can finish the application. I always advise people that if you sit down to do the application, after doing it, you can leave it and come back maybe 1 or 2 hours time, or you can give it another day. Then come and sit down again and now go through again before you submit and pay. Because if you are tired, you may have made a mistake. You not even see it. So just have a second look at it. That's the review section. Then you can now submit it then, and that is all. After you have submitted, you get an email of confirmation that you have submitted the application and all that, and that will be that. So I think that that is that. I'm sure I've managed to answer most of your questions, and I've managed to go through this again for you. So now everybody should be able to apply for it by him or herself. Like I said, if you need assistance, just send us an email and then we will be glad to assist you, because you need to write motivation letters. Make sure you get all your motivation letters right. You have written them, and then when you are doing the application, get all your documents ready. When you are doing it and you get to the upload section, you just be uploading them onto the system so that it will make it easier for you. Any other question? I just have 5 minutes to leave. If you have questions. Okay, I think Joseph.
Okay, my question is just simple one.
Yeah.
So like this study abroad thing, I think everyone is eyeing UK, Canada, US, forgetting about some countries where they can even easily get scholarship, and also their standard of living is very okay, but most people don't really pay attention to that. So my question is targeting these big countries, these US, Canada, Germany, and targeting this, let me just use small countries because of the difference. So which one would you recommend?
Do you know the funny thing?
Uh-huh.
Anytime I have the opportunity of doing webinars like this, I'm sure a couple of people have joined several of my webinars. Anytime I have the opportunity to share, have webinars like this, and people ask me, I tell them that I've been to, I just received my 10 years Canada visa. That was last week. I plan going for a conference in Canada next month. I have been to, when I go to Canada next month, that will be my 27th country. I've been to like almost all the big countries in Europe. I've been to UK, Germany, France. You can mention the Italy, Spain. I've been to all of them.
Wow.
And the best country for immigrants to live in, based on the reasons why we travel, is China. I lived in China for 2 years. I'm living in America here. I've lived in Finland for 4 years. Now, and sometimes people ask me that I should explain. You see, when I was in China, I stayed in China for only 2 years. When you can stay in China for 10 years without paying for rent. When I was living in Europe, I was not paying less than 600 euros, 500, 600 euros every month. Now I'm living in America. I'm paying close to like 1,200 every month for rent, dollars. Yes. Now, when I was in China, I was schooling on full scholarship. I was not paying rent, and they were giving me monthly stipend. After I finished my coursework and I got a job, the job gave me 3-bedroom apartment for free. I was just teaching kids English, and they were feeding me twice a day. And at the end of the day, they give me my salary full. So I was virtually not using my money for anything. All my money goes into my pocket. And in China, I was able to ship things almost every 3 months. I was shipping things to Ghana, blenders, laptops, Lacoste, you can mention it. I was doing all those things when I was in China. When I went to Europe, things are expensive because they are all buying from China. And they have their standards. So their standard is high, so the prices are high. The same applies to America. America, most of their products are coming from China because of cost of production. So if you hear this day last week, we heard Trump speaking a lot of things about adding tax to Canada and Mexico, and he's adding 25% to Canada and Mexico, but he added only 10% because he knows that all of things are coming from China. So if you put so much tax on China and they stop, they'll have problem. So I always tell people that if you don't have money, and especially if your grades are not good, target China. You can get full scholarship. Go there, give yourself 2 years, make money, and then you can relocate. But so many people think that they will sit in Ghana on Kohodao, then I teach in China, that's China, China is more developed than almost all the countries. It's only the only country that can compete with China in terms of development is America. And even that one, I would say that only selected cities. I can tell you that. China is far developed. Far, far developed. When I left China and I went to Europe, I was very disappointed. You can, all this thing I'm telling you, you can ask someone who has lived in China and has lived in Europe and America. You tell the same thing I'm telling you. But because we always stay in Africa on Kohodao, but he will say something he doesn't have the experience. But people have choices, like you said. I don't have any problem with that. I always say, for example, Obi or send papa or UK into UK and I'm there's nothing wrong with that. In that situation, or because of Nebusia phone, nyama be easy kakraman. So the person has the right to say I want UK. That's fair enough. But somebody like me that Mebusia ni obi to find that minimum obi I am come to struggle for myself. And you don't even have the enough capital. Start from somewhere. Like you're saying, Luxembourg is a very good country. It's one of the countries with the highest GDP. You can check it on Google. Very strong economy. And you can easily get jobs, well-paying jobs that you can save enough and build a future. So if you want to apply to Luxembourg, why should you, and you don't have enough money? Because coming to US and even if you don't have fully funded projects, it's going to be difficult. If you have
Okay. So Ray,
Mhm.
what if the admissions I've gotten, I would want to hold them on. Then I'll focus on the Luxembourg. What do you think?
you can still hold them on. Like I told you about, that's why I said because your section, we can talk about it later on one-on-one. We
Oh,
can hold
okay.
them on and even push them to next semester, telling them that you are anticipating that they give you funding. So let them
Okay.
know that you want to come. Like I said, never neglect admission because you don't have funding. No, don't do that. Yeah, keep it. Tell them that you want to come, but you need funding. So you can push it to the next semester that you want to come, but you want funding. So you want them to consider you for their next section of funding. So in such
Oh,
cases, when the next intake, but just keep reminding them because, like I said, you have to fight for the scholarship because there are so many people who are also fighting for it. But until they see that you are serious and you are giving them pressure, they may neglect you. You understand? There was an instance there was a last month in my department. I was just going to the office and I met our business manager. He called me, "Hey, Craig, come. Then I went. She's a lady. He said, do you know anybody by name called Gladys? And I said, no. And I said, she didn't tell me the reason. No. I said, what is it? Why? She didn't tell me anything. I said, do you know her? And I said, oh, I don't know her. Then she now told me that, oh, there is a funding opportunity available for PhD scholars, but there are two people who have sent emails requesting for funding, but she saw that that lady was from Ghana. That's why she was asking me. And it really pained me because if I knew, I would have told her I know her.
oh
And
wow.
should have given her the funding. You see, but I never got any mail from anybody. I didn't know her. So I just said I didn't know her. So she said, okay, if I don't know her, then that's fine. She'll give it to the other guy who is a Nigerian. You understand? So those are some of the things. If you know people within the school or the department, just send email to everybody. One guy came here like that. He's now in the mathematics department, fully funded. He just sent emails to the Ghanaians. So it's the Ghanaians who just went to all the departments seeking for funding for him. So there are so many ways of doing these things, and that's why I said for the other thing we can talk about it later on. But I was just trying to answer the question based on what someone asked about the countries to live in. Just look
Oh,
for
okay.
where you can make things easier for you to enter. When you enter, the countries, once you get your things right, everywhere you can go. So
Mm,
you can go anywhere. If you enter Luxembourg, you have residence Schengen permit and you can enter all the 27 states with free of charge. When I was entering, you will be entering all the countries and it will look like they will not even ask you anything. Like, into when I've been comfortable Ghana, because when you are entering from, I'm entering from maybe Russia to Sweden to Denmark. When I was entering Germany, nobody checked me anything. Spain, Italy,
wow.
everything. You just be entering. You see, and it's like that. So just know what you want and be focused, like I always say, and look at yourself. If you don't have help from anywhere, look at yourself and just seek for help for yourself and focus, and then everything will be all right. Yeah, so I think that's that. My time is up. If you have any question, just send me an email. My emails are what is on the screen, and then I'll just answer your emails and then your queries. If you need help with the applications, let us know, and then we'll see how we'll go about it. Thank you all so much for coming. I hope that you had a wonderful session. Mr. DS Agri, I hope your question was answered.
Okay, so last question. Oh.
Mhm. Please, I'm listening.
Today I've asked a lot of questions. Pardon me,
Oh, don't
sometimes we
worry.
need clarification.
Okay, please ask.
So
Yes,
with regard to class,
Mhm.
there are some of us that we competed with lower end. Sometimes even before I started this school application thing, I was much discouraged. So I got a friend who studies in the US, and he was like, Joe, do you know the class that people have gotten in the US studying now? So he
Yeah.
motivated me, and so sometimes the class, really discourage us that,
Yeah.